Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alal falah. Hayya 'alal falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillah nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله المبعوث بين يدي الساعة داعيًا إلى الله بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه ووالاه. أما بعد فيا عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله وحثكم على طاعة الله وطاعة رسوله لعلكم ترحمون. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم أعوذ من الشيطان الرجيم وأطيعوا الله والرسول لعلكم ترحمون. My dear brothers, first of all, we praise and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his blessings, and we also invoke peace and blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW, his family, his companions, and all those who follow him doing good deed till the day of judgment. Today we are still in the day of Tashriq for those who had Eid on Tuesday, but today is the last day of Tashriq. But for those who had Eid on Wednesday, tomorrow is the last day. As we know that on Eid and the following 3 days on which we are encouraged to do the Qurban, to sacrifice animal. So today I would like to talk about some aspect of this sacrifice, especially about the significance and the purpose. First of all, some comparative information. If we read the Quran, for example, when Allah mentioned about how he commanded the Prophet Ibrahim salam to sacrifice his son. Allah did not mention the name Ismail. And Allah said, فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ. So we gave him good news of the son who is gentle and forbearing. So, in the Bible, for example, it is mentioned about who was slaughtered by Ibrahim. In the Bible, it was mentioned that it was Ishaq. But if you read the Quran, we continue reading, Allah mentioned Ishaq afterward. Meaning, according to the context, it was not Ishaq, it was Ismail, although not mentioned by name, but Ismail as the firstborn. So with regard to why in the Bible it is mentioned Ishaq, if we read the Gospel of Barnabas, it was interesting because one day the Prophet Isa talked to his disciple about how the Prophet Ibrahim was commanded by Allah to sacrifice his son. So he said that Allah said to Ibrahim, "O Ibrahim, all the world knows that I love you. So how will they know that you love me?" So the Prophet Ibrahim answered to the effect that, Allah, how should I prove that I love you? He said, take your firstborn Ismail out the mountain and slaughter him for me. And then in the reaction, the disciple asked the Prophet Isa, but in the Torah, it's mentioned the son which was slaughtered by Ibrahim, our father Ibrahim, was Ishaq. And then the Prophet Isa said, Musa did not write it, but the evil rabbin or rabbi that wrote it. Because if you want me to tell the truth, it was Ismail who was slaughtered by his father Ibrahim. And then the Prophet Isa asked, Allah told Ibrahim to slaughter his firstborn Ismail. So how come Ishaq is the firstborn? The Prophet Isa asked them. While when Ishaq was born, Ismail was 7 years old already. Okay, so from this, the Gospel of Barnabas, the Quran is what you call agree that the person or the son of Ibrahim was slaughtered was Ismail. That one part. Then the other part is about the purpose. You know here that this tradition of sacrifice is to prove to Allah SWT, the purpose of it to prove to Allah SWT that we as his servant love him more than anything else. That's what it is. The Prophet Ibrahim Salam also proved to Allah SWT he was willing to slaughter his son. His son also was willing. So both submitted to Allah SWT without any hesitation. Okay. Of course, in the end, the Prophet Ismail was not slaughtered, not because he did not do, or the Prophet Ibrahim did not do it, but because the knife could not cut it. Well, because Allah only wanted to test Ibrahim. So he proved. He tried many ways. Okay, until at the end, he had to lay his son on his face to cut from the back. So the knife could not cut. Only when Allah had seen Ibrahim really proved that he loved Allah more than anything else, he fulfilled the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only at that time, Allah called out to Ibrahim that Ibrahim has fulfilled the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وناديناه يا إبراهيم قد صدقت رؤيا وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. So, oh Ibrahim, you have indeed fulfilled the purpose of the dream or the command. So such will reward those who do good. And then Allah, وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِعَذَابٍ عَظِيمٍ, and Allah sent a ram from the heaven to replace, to ransom. So Ismail alayhi salam. In other words, Allah who commanded Ibrahim to slaughter his son, Allah himself ransomed Ismail. That is why Allah made the knife unable to cut. As Allah made the fire before, into which he was thrown, unable to burn Ibrahim. That's how it is. But what you call the point is the Prophet Ibrahim fulfilled the command without any hesitation. But Allah himself, who commanded him, only for the boss testing him, so he passed the test, and then Allah ransomed also his son Ismail from being slaughtered. The third point is about the purpose itself. Because when we say sacrifice, meaning we sacrifice what we love. Even when we spend, we know that people love money, for example. But Allah said, "Dan tanadul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun." You will not reach the righteousness or the piety until you spend out of what you love. That's called sacrifice. What we love, we spend. Even in this udhiyah or sacrifice, also we had to spend money to buy animals. Okay, that way we part with what we love. We spend, we sacrifice what we love. This is sacrifice. Why? Because Iman means love. As the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. So none of you will have Iman or the true Iman until Allah and His Messenger are dearer to Him or loved more by Him than anything else. This is Iman. When we love Allah more than anything else. We love the Prophet or His Messenger more than anything else. So we need to prove. So one of the ways proving it is by doing sacrifice. When we sacrifice what we love. That is why the best sacrifice the Prophet said is the most expensive one, the fattest, the most perfect, and the most expensive one. So if we look for the cheaper one, that means there's no sacrifice, there's no more charity. Sacrifice, unless we can't afford. For example, we don't have much money. So, of course, we try to find the best we can. That's different matter. But if we have plenty of money, and then we say looking for the cheapest one, that's not sacrifice. That's only charity. Okay. Of course, depending on our intention, we are sincere, we get reward for it. But it's not sacrifice. Sacrifice is when we are ready to sacrifice what we love. Okay, that will call sacrifice. And also, we have to show that we love Allah more than anything else by way of fulfilling His commands. For example, the 5 daily prayers. Okay, and the praying in Jama'ah in the mosque. Why? Because that's what you call, there is some sort of sacrifice. We sacrifice our time to spend some time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the mosque, for example. Especially we can come to join the Jama'ah, during Isha and Fajr time, even the best way to show that we love Allah more than anything else. Why? Because human beings have excuses. In winter, although the night is long, but too cold. But sacrifice means we are ready to throw away our blanket, okay, and leave our home, coming to the mosque to pray in Jama'ah. That's sacrifice. So, and because in summer also people have excuse. The Subuh Fajr is too early. Okay, they want to sleep more. But if we love Allah more than anything else, so we can overcome all that, what you call excuses. So we prove to Allah that we really love Him more than anything else. And also with regard to helping the poor, spending some of money, with sharing some of money with the poor people. There's another way to prove to Allah that we love Him more than anything else. I think that's all I have to say today. Barakallahu li wa lakum fi al-Qur'an al-azim. ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات الذكر الحكيم وتقبل مني ومنكم تلاوته إنه السميع العليم. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات استغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله الملك الحق المبين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صادق الوعد الأمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان يوم الدين. أما بعد فأيها المسلمون اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم ارض عن الخلفاء الراشدين المهتدين سادتنا أبي بكر عمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره لنا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا عن القوم الكافرين. اللهم لا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم انصر المسلمين في فلسطين على أعدائهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا لغفرته ولا هما لفرجته ولا دينا لقضيته ولا مريضا لشفيته ولا ميتا لرحمته ولا بلاء دفعته ولا وباء لصرفتها ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك رضا لقضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.